Back years ago, my grandfather, Fred Jones, lived at Mentone, Alabama. That was my mother's dad. He was quite a character, and he traded on anything you'd trade on: cows, pigs, horses, whatever. He would buy them and resell them. He had a knack for feeding an animal really good and making it look good in a hurry. And he'd get an old scrubby cow or an old scrubby horse, and in a few days he'd have it looking real sharp, and somebody would buy it. And he had a pasture down by the road where it was he called it his display pasture. Anything that was for sale, he had out in that pasture. Down the road from him was a gentleman by the name of Howe. And it sounded like the same name. It was spelled a little different, but Mr. Howe had a pasture there by his house, and we were passing by one day, and here was an old scrubby looking pony. It looked like it needed to be sheared and combed out good and fed real good. Very rough looking little pony. Papa told me, he said, "I don't know what Hal's doing with that pony. He probably don't either, but I need to get that pony from him. It's not worth anything, but I've got a little two-wheel pony cart, and that pony would look good pulling that little cart around once I get him mended up." So we stop and talk to Mr. Hal. He gives us a long story about how he came by the pony. Papa wasn't interested in how he came by it. Mr. Hal said, "I wouldn't take a dime less than $25 for that pony." Papa said, "I have a $10 bill. I really would like to get some change back from it, but I do have a $10 bill." Well, they bickered around there a while, and I think Papa gave him $12 for the pony. Well, guess who got to walk the mile and a half back to Papa's leading the pony? Because Papa never owned a truck in his life. So here I walk up the road with the pony, and I turn it into the display pasture on it. Papa said, "No, put it over in the back pasture. I don't want anybody to see it yet." We get out that afternoon, and he shears a lot of the hair off that pony, and we comb him out good, and he does look better, but he's still thin. Papa begins to feed him really good. In a few days, he's slick looking. Now we'll move him down to the display pasture, and so we do. Well, we get out the little cart and clean it up, but Papa's brother, Hardy Jones, was strictly a horse and mule dealer. And Papa tells him, "I need some harness for a pony." Well, Uncle Hardy comes by with some harness. We harnessed the pony. He has been worked before, you could tell, because he was very much broke to pull a cart or anything. And pretty soon we were riding around in the yard with him. Well, Mr. Howell comes by and sees this. Oh, he needs that for his grandchildren. So he stops, tells Papa, "I want to buy the pony back. I want the cart. I want the harness. I want it all." Papa said, $200. "Oh, no, Fred. No. I've got $50. Well, you just well keep going, because $50 will not touch that pony without the cart and the harness." I think they were settled on $75 that time. Well, I'll get to lead it back down to Mr. Howell's, pulling the cart along with it, because the road was so rough. I was afraid to try to ride in the cart, afraid I'd fall out and the pony would run away. Take it back to Mr. Howell's. I put it in the pasture. I put away the cart and the harness. The next day, about 10 of my cousins show up to ride in the little pony cart. Papa tells them, "Well, I got rid of the pony." Oh, they're all brokenhearted. He said, "Get in the car, Johnny. We'll go down to Howell's, see what I can do." Mr. Howell said, $100 will not touch that pony and cart, Fred. Papa said, "You just gave $75 for it yesterday." "Yes, but I'm already liking it." So I don't remember exactly what, but maybe $110, $120. I lead the pony back up to Papa's and put him out there in the display pasture. Mr. Howell comes by a few days later. He's got to have that pony. His wife mad because he sold it. He's got to have it. I think it was $150 that time. So here I lead it back down the road again. Well, sure enough, here comes all the cousins, and they want to make pictures riding in the pony cart, little family groups and all. Pony and cart and everything's going back to Mr. Howell's. Papa said, well, get in the car, John. So we ride back down to Mr. Howell's. I think that time it was either $175 or $180. And I get to lead the pony back home. A gentleman had bought a team of mules from my Uncle Hardy. And he lived over on Sand Mountain, this man did. And Uncle Hardy made a remark about Papa having a pony and cart over there. The man comes by to see it. He falls in love with this pony and cart. He asked Papa, said, Fred, what is your bottom dollar on the pony and cart and harness? Papa told him $250. That's the bottom. Man hands out cash. They load the pony on behind those mules. We set the cart up in the back of the truck also. Pony gone. Mr. Howell comes by in a day or two and stops. And I know not to say anything. He says, John, where's my pony? I have to talk to Papa. Well, he goes in on the porch. Papa's sitting there in the rocking chair. Fred, what's happened to the pony? He said, I sold him to a man over on Sand Mountain. Mr. Howell jerks his hat off and throws it on the floor and stomps on it and says, Fred, how could you do that? Could you not see you and I both were making a good living off of that pony?